Hey gang, it's Jeff from the Photofinish Restoration Department, and this is Muscle Cars and Hot Rods. On this episode, we're going to continue on with that Rally Sport conversion on our 1968 Chevy Camaro, so check it out. Okay, in keeping with our RS conversion on this Camaro, we've got the templates and we're fitting the holes for the Rally Sport emblem. So we got this lined up with both the high rise of the body line and the edge of the fender. Went ahead with the what do they call these? Automatic center punch. Punched all our holes for that, and now it's time to go ahead and get after it with a drill bit. Here we are on the 68 327 engine emblem on the fender. We're going to go ahead and get our center punch going on these so we can drill these holes out. Those are the two holes for the speed nuts, and this one's just a locating hole. We give them a double pump just to make sure we get the drill bit started in the right place. And also, before we went ahead and did that, we checked the emblem to the design to make sure that our studs line up in the right spot. There it is, we're ready to begin drilling. Now here's something that we notice on the 327 emblems. There is a right and left hand side. And so if you look at the alignment of the studs on the 327 for the left hand side, they work real well, but on the right hand side, you put a right hand emblem up there, it won't fit. The holes go in a different spot. And then the 327 placement into the holes. It's pretty nice and level. We already did our measurements, looking real good. So we'll do the Rally Sports. And here's the Rally Sport emblem in, and we're just checking it for measurement to make sure that it's straight. But that's how it is. We like to put the emblems in and do the drilling beforehand because it'll put a slight dent in there, especially when I hit the fender like that, like I did. But we'll hammer it up because we don't want too much build of Bondo on the edge of that hole, because if you ever have to pull the emblem off, you don't want to risk pulling up some Bondo and some paint. So we'll hammer out that little dent we put in there, and that'll be good. And then like we were saying, you want to have the emblems installed before you do the bodywork. Okay, so a little bit of file work to get the final little adjustments right. Okay, and the last little bit is I take my deburring tool and deburr the holes. I'm not trying to make this like it's rocket science. It's pretty simple stuff. We're just drilling holes for emblems. But then again, when I say that, you don't want to be wrong. We did a 69 Camaro for someone, and my partner won't mention any names. The SS holes in the wrong spot, and when we got it all together, the SS holes were correct on one side and they were wide on the other, and we ended up having to spot in the bottom of the fender to correct that. So, you know, there you go. Just get them in the right spot. It's simple stuff. And that says it all right there. That's on the deck lid. We use the template holes for the with spoiler application. Without spoiler, they sit back closer to the edge of the deck lid, like back in here. Now to get caught up with what's happening on the Camaro, after we got those emblem holes drilled, we've gone ahead and bodywork the fenders. There were some slight issues with these quarters we went ahead and fixed up the other day, and that was the quarter to hood gap was too funky, so I went ahead and had to do some fabrication to make that all nice. You can see there's the emblem hole. That's all looking good. And then the gaps were decent on the quarter to door except for right in here, so again I had to weld in some metal to make that a nice decent 3/16 inch gap. Still waiting on our rocker panel, and bodywork on the Camaro is just about wrapped up. get that rocker panel in there, we'll be looking good. We've got the Camaro all masked up for spot priming. We've got the fenders over in the prep station so that we don't get a bunch of overspray kicking everywhere. We got no wheels on the Camaro, so we'll go ahead and prime it here in the body shop. Just wanted to go over a little bit of masking stuff for you. Right here is a little technique we call back masking, and that is we mask the paper to the car and folded it backwards, and that'll allow us to prime up into this area here without getting a hard primer line here. Hard primer lines are bad because when you go to sand them out, you might think that you got them sanded out, but once you get, there's something called shrinkage, or however it is that it happens, you might think you got that hard line sanded out, but it'll end up showing up down the road, and you don't want to have any of that happen. Let's see, the other thing we've got going here is what's called the easy edge, and that's where I've just taken, let's look up close, and folded down that top lip of the masking, and then you see how that works. And so when the primer comes over and hits that, it kind of hits the loose part of the masking to cushion the blow, and that'll allow me to, I like to pick natural body lines, like right here along the edge. There's another high peaked body line right here, same thing, easy edged it. So when the dust from the overspray from priming comes down, it just kind of softens that up, and you won't end up with a hard primer line. Just like always here, we'll go ahead and epoxy prime with DE15. Let that flash off and do a wet on wet application, and we'll hit it with two good coats of the Glazard on top as our high build surfacer. One other little detail I'd like to take the time to point out is you'll notice that every once in a while I'll have a little pinhole in my bodywork, and I could go ahead and fill that with some spot glaze now, but the reason I like to do that, to not do that, is because I might go ahead and fill that with glaze, and when I sand that glaze down, I might expose another pinhole here, and then I also might get to a point where I've cut this right on the edge to where it can go. If I sand any further than that, I'll be creating high spots around. So we'll just fill that after primer. And that's the way I like to do it. You guys have all seen me prime a million times. Make sure you wipe the car down with a surfactant first. Use a wet and then dry wipe on it. The surfactant will pull the oils up to the surface, and then you use the dry towel to wipe the oils off from the surface. Oils, wax, grease, anything like that. Like I said, we'll put the coat of epoxy down. We'll put a couple coats of the high build surfacer, Glazard down, and there we are. Pretty much ready for, actually we're pretty much done with bodywork. There's a little bit of bodywork to do on the firewall. We've still got to fix that section on the passenger side rocker panel, and then we were noticing that the RS bezels to the fender, the headlight bezels to the fender don't really fit. I didn't want to get into trying to make them fit off the car, so when we put the car back together, we'll go ahead and take the time to detail that then. Pretty much ready for prime and block, so we'll catch you on the next one with this car.